Hey guys, you're watching Boondocking with Dennis. It has been a very odd and somewhat interesting morning. If you caught last night's video, I just want to show you the last few seconds of the video. Talk about foreshadowing a situation. Check this out. And I kind of like this one too, this yellow house, because look at the trees. You got your own little shaded parking. And it's got a historic marker. We'll have to come back. I want to read that historic marker. Probably in tomorrow morning's video. Lots of older redone houses here. Well guys, I appreciate you very much. I think we're coming up to a daycare here, so I'm going to stop recording. Thanks for riding along today. Thanks for watching. So the video ends, and I decide to drive around the block because I want to read that historical marker and make a little clip for an upcoming video. Now, mind you, because of the wind, I have 3 of the 4 windows are up. Only my driver's side window is open so I can record, and the wind is coming from that direction. So here's the video I shot. This is the Moore House. Built in 1906, this house was the vision of James Edward and Josephine Kennedy Moore. The two were married from 1903 until 1915, when Josephine passed away. James Edward was a business owner who served several terms as Rockport's mayor between the 1920s and 1940s. He was instrumental in establishing a yacht basin and a public beach park, both of which are still in use today. Moore also helped plan a modern sewer system for the town. He sold the house to family in 1943 and passed away in 1948. The Craftsman Bungalow features a 1.5-story plan, a low overhanging roof line, and a wrapped porch. It also has squared columns, an asymmetrical entryway, and a roof dormer with triptych windows. So the way I film these types of videos is I will shoot 10 seconds of maybe the historical marker or the house. I will then read the sign, which in this case took me 1 minute and 22 seconds to do the voice recording. Then I will shoot enough video from different angles just by pulling straight back and forth. So I have 1 minute and 22 or more, which I then edit down to fit the narration. So I'm doing that. That probably took shooting it and even the editing 5 minutes tops. So just as I'm loading the editing, a Rockport police car pulls up. Right behind that is another Rockport police car. Okay. And I'm thinking, did the people in the house, because people do live there, call me? I mean, call the Rockport police on me? Because they have to be used to people stopping and reading a historical marker in front of their house. So when they pull up, I immediately roll all my windows down, shut my engine off, and put my hands in clear view. Just so they're comfortable, I'm comfortable. I'm not doing it in a way to show off or, you know, cause any trouble with the police. They're doing their job. They got called for some reason. They're both get out of their vehicles and start walking towards me. And I'm like, yep, it was me. So very nice young police officer, male, young female with him as well out of the other car. The male did all the talking. Said, just to let you know, we got called by the daycare center, which is ironic because I mentioned in the last video, there's a daycare center up the road. I'm going to stop filming now. Well, it turns out directly across the street from the house, the historic home, is another daycare center. Now, I could hear kids playing, and I could hear like a dog barking. I could hear birds. Only this window here is open. So the sound carrying, I'm thinking it's coming from up the street, or even, to me, it sounded like it was more behind the house. I don't know what's going on. I'm not paying any attention to it. The daycare center called the Rockport Police Department and said there's someone in a car filming the daycare center. Now, I have no video footage of the daycare center. I never even faced that direction. And by the way, when the policeman came up to the car, he was very clear that he got called, so he has to come. Filming from a public street, you're allowed to do. It's a constitutional right. It's protected under the Freedom of Speech Amendment. I could, as creepy as it would be, sit there all day if I wanted to on a public street and film the daycare center. I highly recommend no one does that. But you can. As long as you're in a public area, you can stand in front of a nuclear power facility if you want on the public road or any public area and film anything you could see with the naked eye. You can stand at the fence line of, what's the famous, is it Area 51? And film anything you see as long as you stay on public property. So the officers couldn't have been more professional, more polite. They were very well aware that it's legal. And I just want to know why they called the police. I wasn't even facing in their direction. I think that's pretty bizarre. But I said to the officer, would you like to see my ID? Unless I'm suspected of a crime, I don't have to produce ID. But I'm not worried about it. You know, I don't mind giving a police officer my ID. And the Rockport police officers, both very professional, very courteous. They didn't ask for my ID. I offered it. He checked it out. He called it in. I told him what I was doing. He didn't ask. I don't have to tell him. I don't have to tell anyone what I'm doing. But he was polite. He wasn't like the Karen video where someone demanded to know what I was doing. And I just told him I have a YouTube channel. I let him know. I didn't even know there was a daycare right there. I knew there was one right up the street. I told him I thought it was ironic because in the video I just ended, I said there's a daycare up the street and I don't want to film there. He asked me the name of my YouTube channel, which he was asking out of curiosity. I don't have to provide any information if I'm not suspected of a crime. I let him know, and he even told me about the windmill in the tree where we've been a lot. And I told him, yeah, I've been there a lot, and my buddy Christopher used to live there. Christopher he used to work in one of the banks in the area. I don't need to give out Christopher's information. But I got some footage when the cop cars were pulling away, the police cars. And, yeah, people, if you don't know it, public photography is completely legal. You can go into the post office, and if you're in a common area, that's considered public property. I don't know why anyone would want to do that. I'm not a First Amendment auditor. I don't believe in giving the police a hard time. They have a hard enough job. Let them do their job and go about their business. But I had a very good, I mean, if the cops had to come, I'm glad I got 2 officers that were that courteous and that professional. And I have some footage of the police pulling away. And I almost wish I had the camera going while they were there, because there's so many videos out there showing cops being unprofessional. These 2 were awesome. Let me just show you a brief clip. Well, that was Just bizarre. The third Rockport Police car just pulled away. That's the very nice officer that I talked to, professional, courteous. There's the third officer right there, the young female. And, yeah, they're out here doing their job. I'm out here doing my job. And in a way, even the people at the daycare that called the police, they're doing their job. I could understand if I was actually filming or even looked in that direction, but they're watching out for the little kids. And some people don't understand the rules of photography, but geez, at least make sure I'm at least looking your way and filming something, you know? So, guys, I also want to say the people at the daycare center, I mean, they just had that massacre in Uvalde, Texas, and they're probably all on edge, too. It's a crazy world. I'm glad if they suspected anything, they called the police. If you got kids going to that daycare, and I don't know the name of the daycare. No idea. Didn't even know there was a daycare there. But good for them for at least being aware of what was going on. But I guess I should thank them. They probably saved me 10, 15 bucks in gas, so I don't have to drive around and make a second video. So, yeah. Thanks for watching out for the kids' daycare. The policeman, thanks for getting there so fast. I was there a total under 5 minutes. And thanks for being courteous and respectful. And all you guys, it's a crazy world. It's crazy on all levels. Thanks for sitting along today. Thanks for watching.